lot of people like to complain about Cars 2. Everyone knows that. Whether that being for the fact that it's a very confusing film, maybe because Mater takes up most of the screen time, or maybe because it just doesn't really flow seamlessly from the first Cars movie. But I have never heard one person ever complain about the World Grand Prix, because I think that's one of the highlights of the film, because it just takes what we know from Piston Cup racing, takes everything we love from it, and then it expands it with really cool tracks, you know, not just a circle. Instead, you have like really cool dirt tracks going through Tokyo and Porto Corsa and London, England. Like, there's so many cool locations, so many different cultures of all the racers are all different cultures. They all have these really cool paint jobs, all these really cool models. They're just a lot of fun. There's a lot to love about the World Grand Prix. Unfortunately, there's only 11 racers. One of them is Mcqueen, of course. So I wish there was a little bit more, like at least 20, I think there should have been. But at least it gives us a chance to get to know each racer quite a bit, even though a lot of them don't have speaking lines. But of course, welcome on back to the Cards Garage, everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at Miguel Camino, the racer for Spain, number 5, in Cars 2. Now, of course, he doesn't have any speaking roles, like I said, most of them don't, but he has been released many, many times ever since his first release in 2011. He's had many variations as well, which we'll take a look at later on, and he's pretty much been released almost every year, I think, since 2011, as a diecast here, and most recently, this version right here, which is from 2022. He was released right off the bat in Case A of the 2022 singles, and actually quite a lot of cases throughout the year. So he's became quite the peg warmer, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm sure even though it's 2023 now, you can probably still find a few of this guy hanging on the pegs. But he has a very nice artwork. I don't care how much of a peg warmer he is. I think he's really cool. Just a lot to like about him. Cool model. Very sporty looking. And then a really cool paint job to boot. Even his name is cool, Miguel Camino. Always love that name. There's a few different artworks, but they usually choose this one, where it looks like he's kind of like racing through the Red Rider Stadium background. Too bad they didn't change the background for 2023. I don't know if this guy will be released next year. This year, technically now. I wouldn't doubt that he will be, though. He is on the back of some other 2023 packaging, but I don't know if that means anything. I think they just reused the same card backs. But, as you can see, there's only 2 cars back here. One of them is Miguel, and the other is Shu Todoroki. Because, like I said, he was released at the very beginning of the year, and there weren't many other Cars 2 cars out. So Mattel didn't have very many to put on the back, but they easily could have put some Radiator Springs Townies on there. So I never like when they do these card backs and there's only like 2 or 3 cars. I just feel like it's wasted space, as seen in Cars 2, especially like when we move on later in the year. It just looks weird because there's so many more cars that you can get, yet they only show 2. But we're not going to be unboxing this guy today because, of course, I already have his Thailand variant unboxed, and I have the Chinese variant, and I have pretty much every other variant of Miguel that there is. So we'll be taking a look at all of those right now. So even though he was released in 2022, it wasn't a brand new variant from Thailand because he was previously released in 2019 and 2020 as a Thailand-made variant. And in 2020, he actually got a re-release of his silver variation, which was quite a bit different. I don't have that one, but I do have the regular silver version. So we'll take a look at that a little later on. But here's his crew chief and Pitty back there, which we'll be taking a look at later. They're very cool, and they both have Thailand variants as well. So we'll put them off to the side for now, just so we can focus on Miguel here. But I have quite a lot to say about his Pitty there, Honk Cho. There's quite a lot of inaccuracies on him. Same with Miguel, though. He has quite a lot of inaccuracies on his diecast here. The first one, I think everyone is going to say, and notice right off the bat, is his spoiler. Because it should be black. For some reason it's red. I don't know why. But also his windows. His windows should be painted gray. Not the back one, though, but the side ones should be gray. And they're, of course, yellow. There's no easy way to say it, Mattel. You screwed up. And another thing I noticed they did wrong is he should have little black lines on the side there. But I guess it's not as big of a deal because they missed that on a lot of cars. He's not the only one. But even with those mistakes, he is really cool. It would have been nice if they would have fixed them, though, in 2019 when he was a new variant. It would have been the perfect opportunity. I still love his paint job though, it's so cool. Obviously, taking inspiration from the Spain flag, the Spanish flag, I guess. That is the country he's racing for, Spain. Number 5. Not the first time we've seen Spain in the Cars world, of course, in Cars 2. Before that, we actually saw Spain represented in El Matador, the cartoon short, Mater's Tall Tales. So, not the first time, like I said. Of course, lots of bulldozer bulls. And Mater was supposed to be like the Matador. I always thought that was cool how they made Spain, you know, represented in the World Grand Prix to reintroduce it into the franchise. Of course, he is competing in the World Grand Prix powered by All in All, like it says in the back there. Got his little Spanish flag on the right, and his number 5. All the World Grand Prix racers have like this little shape, like this little, looks like the interstate sign. It says World Grand Prix with the number in the middle and the flag in the background. I like how they did the numbers. It's kind of nice that they're not like the big numbers like we're used to, just painted right on the side, because that's how the Piston Cup racers are for the most part. Now this model that Miguel has, it kind of reminds me of Jeff Corvette's model. It's definitely pretty similar. He definitely kind of looks like an American car. I wouldn't say he looks like what I'd think a Spanish car would look like, but then again, I don't know, like what are Spanish cars like? I know that like Italy has a very distinct model of car. They're always, you know, you can just tell when it's an Italian car like Francesco. But with Miguel here, and even like Japan, Shutoroki, very unique model. But Miguel here, you know, just kind of looks like a sporty American car. Definitely has a little bit more like feistiness to the headlights and stuff like that. It's definitely a little bit different. And a really unique spoiler. It really is a shame that it's not the correct black color, because it would have looked so much cooler, I think. Too bad, Mattel. I'm sure like all this painting here has meaning to it. I really don't know what it means. I'm sure it means something in Spain. Like this, like, I don't know, is that a star, I guess? Lots of cool, like, I don't know. Reminds me of like water drops and stuff like that. Lots of swirls. Orange, red, yellow. Just a lot of color to him. I really like this release. He does have a slightly new expression, so I think it's time to compare him to the original version. Also, I think that this hood ornament, not ornament, but the decal on his hood, I believe that's supposed to be like a temple or something. Honestly, I don't really know. Here is the original Chinese variant though. It's quite a bit different, like I said. This one's a little beat up. I've had him ever since 2011 or 2012, one of those years. So he is pretty old. And this actually is a rubber tire release. He has those little rubber tires, as you can see there. They come off if you pull them off enough, but we won't do that for right now. Still pretty much the same as the regular Chinese release. This is the only one I had up to 2022, so I was really happy to get a new variant of him. Of course, the biggest difference is he doesn't have a plastic mouth plate anymore. So even though they didn't fix the inaccuracies, he's still an upgrade from the Chinese one, I would say. And he no longer has the plastic window inserts, although he still has a plastic eye plate. So, interesting there, but Thailand likes their plastic eye plates, so it's no surprise. Still has the rubber mirrors. His wheels seem to be a bit more like the rims. Seem to be like they're painted gray, rather than like a slate black color. Moving on to the back, where things get pretty dented on this Chinese one. That's probably the area that's most prone to getting chips. Pretty well the same. The decals are just, you know, always clear on the Chinese one, usually. But that's no surprise there, it's always been like that. Even his expression, I would say at least, seems to be a little bit different. It seems like where the eyes meet, it looks like it's pointed downwards more. But honestly, I can't really tell. Even the headlights seem to be a bit darker, so some upgrades for sure. Definitely not a downgrade, I wouldn't say. Still got that nice, fierce racing smile. Very nice. Alright, so now we'll show a few other variations of Miguel here. There's the Silver Racer one. And like I said, the original 2013 one made from China. Has quite a lot of silver on him, but I would say more decals rather than silver, so not the best Silver Racer, I would say, but not the worst one either. The most notable difference from this one to the Thailand one is this one actually has black rims and the Thailand one has yellow rims. I actually think the Thailand one probably looks better, but this one, of course, is kind of nice in a way. Because the clearer decals, like always, that China has. Here is his Neon Racer version, which is probably my favorite variant of Miguel there is. There is a metallic version as well. I don't have that one. This one basically is metallic. And then all the decals have this really cool neon effect to them. He's got like red, dark red rims. So cool looking. Really unlike any other Miguel. He's a neon. Sure is. Like a neon metallic though. And another thing I like about this guy is he actually has the correct black spoiler. There's a lot to like on this one. Now you might be saying you could technically take this spoiler off, put it on this one and paint the windows gray and add the little black things on the side, but it wouldn't be perfect because this one has like the glow effect of the World Grand Prix text, so it wouldn't be perfect, but it would definitely look better than the one we got. And here's another cool one. This is the Ice Racer version. I like this one quite a lot. Not a lot of people love the Ice Racers line, but I've always enjoyed this one, I think. Looks cool. Of course, a lot of blue decals. Got the snowy tires. Looks like he even has some Russian writing on the back. Weird to see a Spanish car with Russian writing, but so cool. And a new number on the side, too. Same number, but like a new box for the number to go in. Another new colored spoiler, so very cool. I've always liked this one. And of course he has the snowflake rims. And all the snowy effects on the side. So very cool there. And then of course here is his pit crew. Petro Cartolina, his crew chief. Always been a cool one. He's an Opel Corsa as well. A lot of cars like that. And I love this crew chief because he actually has some of Miguel's decals on the side painted onto him. He doesn't have the number 5 though, which is kind of weird. I guess not really, actually. Why would a crew chief have the number? Cool license plate. I just love how he's completely themed to Miguel. It really looks like he is his crew chief. Nice expression as well. He's looking off to the side. I always appreciate when they do that. And a cool little headset. Put him back there. And here is Honk Joe, Miguel's Pity. Now this guy was released in 2018, I believe. But Petro back here, I think he was first released in, I think, a 2-pack with Miguel, in a Movie Moments 2-pack, all the way back in 2012, I believe. So, it's been a while for him, but he has had some re-releases. He is available as a Thailand variant as well. All these ones are made from China, though. Honk Joe was actually one of the last Chinese cars to be released in 2018. So cool, he has a headset. And he has a lot of decals on him, too. Just like Petro, so Spanish team might be one of the best ones in the World Grand Prix. Now, I did say that he has quite a lot of mistakes on him, and it is true. Of course, he's quite a bit bigger than most of the other pitties, which is kind of weird. I don't know why he is. He really shouldn't be. He should be the same mold. For some reason, he's a little bigger. Now, that one doesn't bother me all that much, but here's the bigger mistake. It's not actually on Honk himself. And it's not on his tool cart, which is pretty cool. Nice little tool cart here, of course. All of the pitties have these. Even if they're in a 2-pack. If they're in a 2-pack, they don't have the tires, though. But that's where we had the problem. It's on the tires. For some reason, they have light-year text. I don't know why. Mattel does not have American light-year tires. And not only, but he also has yellow rims. So I don't know why they did that. One of the weirdest things Mattel has ever done. We'll stick it in there. It doesn't look that great. Yeah, unfortunately, as cool as the Spanish World Grand Prix racing team is, there is a lot of mistakes. And then the tires, it's not a physical die cast, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Still makes me a little mad, though, that they screwed that up. But, I mean, all the coloring has stayed pretty much the same, so they all look like they're, you know, from the same racing team, which is nice, because on Rip Klitschko's team, for some reason, they all had different colors. Now that all the Thailand ones, I guess, look the same, but when you switch them up from China to Thailand, they look a bit different. But this one's been pretty consistent, so that's nice. Move Honk into the frame there we go. Looks a bit better. Miguel's a really cool car, though. I don't think he really deserves any more re-releases for a while now, because like I said, he's quite the peg warmer in 2022. But who knows, I wouldn't really hate if he did get released again. He's pretty cool. Alright, so I thought I'd show a few of the World Grand Prix racers, even though I'm sure you've all seen them before. They're pretty common. Here is Lightning McQueen, of course, in his World Grand Prix racing wheels, as they call it, paint job. Very cool. He's got the Hudson Hornet piston cup decals. I do love this variant of McQueen. It's just, you know, it's so overproduced. It saturates the market, so it's not all that exciting anymore. But it is still nice, nonetheless. Alright, so here's the Italian racer. Formula 1 racer as well. Francesco Bernoulli. Number 1. A lot of plastic on this diecast, so not one of my favorites. I just don't think Thailand, which is this version, makes him all that great. Eyes are a bit blurry. His mouth isn't painted. There's just a few things that upset me about that release. Here's Raul Sarul. Now, he is pretty common, but I've always liked Raul. I just love his colors. He's actually one of my favorite racers. I think Rip Clutch Gonski is probably my favorite one. Raul's probably second, and Miguel's actually probably number 3. He's pretty much up there. Maybe 4th. I think Carlo Veloso is number 3. I do love Carlos' paint job. But yeah, Raul is the France racer, number 6. GRC. And here's Shu Todoroki, the Japanese racer, number 7. Who was released alongside Miguel in 2022. So, both very common cars. Pretty much extreme peg warmers, I would say. I think they classify as that. But, still, a cool release. A very unique model as well. I thought I might as well show Jeff Gorvette, if we can get him into the frame here. It's pretty cramped now, but like I said earlier, he is pretty similar in terms of the model. Of course, Jeff is a Corvette from 2000, I think 5 or 6 or 9. I think, yeah, 2009. Miguel's probably, I think, also 2009. They just have a very similar body structure, but different headlights, taillights, stuff like that. I honestly do like Miguel quite a bit more. Looks a bit more foreign, a bit more exciting than Jeff. But Corvettes are cool, of course. I'm just not a huge fan of these older Corvettes. Mostly, I don't like the back. I don't like those taillights that much, but I know a lot of people do. But there's Miguel Camino. He's a very cool car. Nice to review a World Grand Prix racer on the channel, for sure. First one, I believe. I did do a showcase on him before, though. So if you want to check that out, I encourage you to. It's pretty good. I like the song used in that one. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you all next time on the Cars Garage.